Well, I was going to move away from the moon until I ran across this picture. And that's kind of the way this always happens. I stumble across everything I find. And, I love to go out on a limb, don't I? I mean, I pretty much am on a limb all the time. I don't know how to exist unless I'm out on the end of that limb. So this is the back side of the moon. And that pasty white surface is what we always see. That's all we ever get. But when you turn up the contrast a lot, all of a sudden things look really different. So here's the out on the limb part, you guys. These craters that we're looking at here, of course, this subject comes up a lot, doesn't it? Always saying these are not craters. Well, maybe these were craters at one time, but I'm telling you right now, these are lakes. This is water. These are standing bodies of water. And in this picture that we're looking at right now, there's a construction in the middle of that lake, whether it's an island or, I don't know how it's done, but there's construction in the middle. There's that big sphere in the middle with a bunch of other buildings around it. And then they're surrounded by this inky blackness, right? This dark color. There's no sides of the crater. There's no edges of the craters. It's just a black spot. And look at that construction in the middle with the sphere, whatever that is, and how different it looks on the right side of the lake versus the left side of the lake. But this is a lake. And if you look at these buildings in the middle and on the edges, you can see the buildings and the structures very clearly. And then you can see the part that goes under the water. You see that? It turns green. All around that structure and that island, we'll call it, and around the edges of this lake, you see where there's structure that changes color. And that's because it goes underneath the water. I'm willing to stand in front of a truck on this. I believe this very, very strongly. And if you don't see it, I think you should pause and study it for a while. Look at the different pictures, because some are better than others, as usual. But it's one lake after another. Now, this is a lake right here, and these other dark areas to the right are mostly bodies of water as well. They're just not as defined as a crater. They're not round. They're just bodies of water for the most part. It's not all water, but some of it is. Now right here, this is sort of an abstract picture, but in that inky darkness, you can see underneath the water where it's green, where these sprawling little structures go out, and it's green. But here is a close-up of this lake. Now, right to the right of this round circle is a dark area, which is also a lake. And they seem to be connected by a canal or a lock. And if you don't know what a lock is, it has to do with if you have a body of water, one body of water that's higher than the other, they don't want it to all just drain into the other, or maybe there's a separation between fresh and salt. But anyway, that's a canal. They're connected. And you only have a canal if you have water. Now this thing here that I am pointing at is something else. It's actually quite scary to me. It looks like some kind of a badass gun, and I mean badass. It's big, for one thing. It's huge. It looks like something right out of Star Wars or cartoon, Johnny Quest cartoon or something. It just, to me, looks like a weapon. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's for shooting sound waves to do something or other. I don't know. But it's quite large. It looks like some type of a gun right out of Star Wars. And there it sits. Who knows what it is? I've been fascinated by it. Hopefully it's they're not going to shoot it in our direction. Well, I guess they can't, because they're on the other side of the moon, right? So maybe they're defending Earth from that side. Who knows? It's hard to say. I've got structures here coming up on the left, some taller ones with some quite a few smaller structures in the background. Everything is tightly packed. It is hard to get definition. This may be one of those kinds of videos that you want to pause and kind of go over a little bit. But for sure, I'd like to have you pause on those lakes and go back and take a close look so you can see what I'm talking about. I hope I was able to show it to you. Sometimes I doubt myself. These pictures, they're difficult sometimes, and they're not really necessarily for the uninitiated. The average person might look at this and go, "Oh my God!" But if you're used to looking at these kinds of pictures, you probably see something. Now here's another lake. There's some kind of something under the water there. I don't know what it is. And then at the top of it, there's all this industrial-looking piping and stuff. But you know what? There's something weird here. Look to the left. It's kind of a light-colored blob coming out from the 9 o'clock position. It's actually appears to be way up high in the sky, I think. And I don't know what it is. I can't get enough definition. I see different things. It's very strange. I don't know what it is. Now this is interesting. You see the bright crater on the left. This is one of many. They're all over the place. They're all exactly the same size, and they're all super brightly lit up. There's nothing else that even comes close to being as bright as those. So those, if you ask me, are artificially lit. That's just my guess. And then there's this, look at this disc-shaped thing on this inky black spot. Look at the shape of that inky black spot, okay? That is water. That's not a crater. It's not a shadow. It's a shoreline is what you're looking at there. And then, of course, many times you'll find pipes and things connected to that shoreline. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and maybe I will get away from the moon. Hopefully I won't run across anything else that grabs me, and we'll end up going someplace more exotic. Have a great day. See ya.